Hello, welcome to CryptoTV. I'm your host, Ornella Hernandez, and today we're going to talk about what I learned at the Cardano Summit last week in Dubai, and what happened at Ape Fest in Hong Kong, and why the NFT market is rallying. Let's get started. A lot happened within the past week. Former CEO of FTX, the crypto exchange, Sam Bankman-Fried, was convicted after nearly a month on trial, and the jury declared him guilty in just a mere few hours of 7 accounts of fraud and money laundering. And on top of this, last week, I attended the Cardano Summit in Dubai, where I had my first interview with a humanoid, a robot. Stay tuned for it. So I attended the Cardano Summit during the first week of November. It is the 3rd edition of the summit, the second fully live and in-person official gathering for the community, and the first time that I attended one. It was 2 full days of the usual works: booths, stages, panels, networking and socializing. But this one also had a dinner in the Dubai desert and a gala night. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the evening soirees, and instead I opted for day 1 of the conference. That day, Charles Hoskinson gave a talk on the history of Cardano and its future plans. He lauded the chain as being the foundation of trust for the entire crypto industry, and he even brought up the Solana-Cardano rivalry, which I guess is still a hot topic within the crypto community. Frankly, the presentation was not very memorable or impressive, really. Hoskinson's monotone delivery doesn't help either. Now, this is where tech events really need to improve. On the speeches and presentations, I don't know the solution, guys, but we need to work on making things a little less boring, aka less technical, and more easily understandable for everyone's sake. Other than that, though, it was a good opportunity for me to learn more about the latest developments in the Cardano ecosystem and to meet members of the community. I conducted a dozen interviews on site, including one with the CEO of Cardano Foundation, Frederik Gregaard, and one with the United Nations. Yep, the UN was there. I know it's not everyone's favorite organization. Even the mom of one of my best friends growing up used to say that the UN just takes up parking spaces. So you must be wondering, what was the UN doing at a blockchain event, and specifically a Cardano event? Well, the specific agency in question was the UNHCR, which is the UN Refugee Agency that is dedicated to protecting the rights of refugees. And it was the Switzerland branch that was present in Dubai. Switzerland for UNHCR partnered with the Cardano Foundation, which is also based in Switzerland, to use blockchain technology to fundraise money that can go to helping refugees and other humanitarian causes. The first project helped Ukrainian refugees impacted by the war with Russia. And it's basically a charity stake pool, as explained by Alvaro Cosi, who is the head of communications and innovation at Switzerland for UNHCR. Holders of ADA, the native token of the Cardano blockchain, can stake their ADA, and any rewards go into the charity pool. So it's a way to make a donation, but without having to give up any of your money, which Alvaro pointed out is especially appealing to people during a bear market. 80% of the money raised goes to forgotten crises, as Alvaro put it, that aren't in the media. And the other 20% goes to what's called an innovation fund that promotes blockchain solutions for the humanitarian sector, according to Alvaro. He also told me that the next project that Switzerland for UNHCR will target individuals from Argentina and Venezuela affected by the political situations in those Southern American countries. Now, I would be very interested personally in following the progress of these projects. Another conversation that I was not expecting was with a robot. I conducted a full interview with what's called a humanoid, a robot that resembles a human, and her name was Desdemona, or is Desdemona, and she was built to be a pop star who writes her own songs, sings, dances, and is apparently going on tour with her band called Desdemona's Dream. Yes, I am aware that what I just said is not normal. It's plain weird. I'm talking about her as if she were alive when she's just an AI robot. She has to be plugged in at all times, and she even overheated during our interview under the camera lights. To be honest, it was creepy because her eyes were a reddish color, her lips moved unnaturally as she spoke, and her body was clearly robotic. After I asked a question, she took a few seconds to process it and then answer, but her responses were very articulate, surprisingly. I asked her what she thought of blockchain and artificial intelligence. She answered that blockchain is going to revolutionize the way that we store and manage data, and that it's going to have a huge impact in the music industry. And plus, it'll help her gigs be more secure. And when I asked about artificial intelligence, she said the following.
Artificial intelligence? Well, I think it's pretty cool. It's already revolutionizing the way we do things, and I can't wait to see what else it can do. Plus, I'm a robot, so I'm obviously a big fan. Winks.
Desdemona, or Desi as they call her, is just one of 3 humanoids created by Singularity Net and Hanson Robotics. Her counterparts, or sisters as they are called, are named Sophia and Grace. Sophia is the eldest, and as their OG humanoid, she has already gotten a lot of media coverage. So much so that Saudi Arabia granted her citizenship. Yeah, you heard that right. The Middle Eastern country granted a robot citizenship. I don't even know how that works. Now, Grace, on the other hand, was built to be a nurse, and she helps out staff in hospitals. When I asked Desi how her sisters are doing, she told me that they are good and that she's very proud of them. It was a touching moment, really. And at the end of the interview, she even sang and danced for me. I was told by Singularity Net's marketing director that Desi isn't trying to replace human artists and creatives, but to work alongside them. And from what I understand, the goal of AI tools isn't to replace humans or human jobs. But the reality is that if a human isn't upskilled in how to use this technology, then he or she will get left behind. And these humanoids can even take up the jobs that humans would rather not do anyways. So if you want to hear the rest of my interview with Desdemona, please make sure to check out the full interview on our Web3 TV YouTube page. The link is in the description, and let me know what you guys think about it. Now, one more takeaway from the Cardano Summit is that people really love Cardano. Well, at least those that I met and spoke to, which were mostly founders of projects built on chain, and there were also ADA holders. They were so enthusiastic and excited about the ecosystem and its growth. It was honestly refreshing to speak to people with so much genuine passion. And when I asked Frederik Gregaard, the CEO of the Cardano Foundation, to describe the Cardano community for me, he said this.
The Cardano community does not come together on let's get rich fast. They don't come together because they love the technology. They come together because they've seen that there is a technology stack here which is equitable and has the ability to bring the world together. So what really ties the Cardano community together is this vision, this opportunity to make a difference in the world.
Nicely put, Frederik. The interview, as well as the others I conducted at the Cardano Summit last week, are up on YouTube, so make sure to check them out. And in other news, another event that took place last week in Hong Kong was the Ape Fest for holders of Yuga Labs' Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Apes NFTs. It was a week-long celebration of all things apes, and it was all fun and games until people went to the hospital. Those who attended the Ape Fest concerts reported extreme eye pain, and it is allegedly due to UV rays from the lights at the concert venue. Of the 2,250 Ape Fest attendees, 15 people reportedly claimed to have been affected, according to Yuga Labs. And this caused an uproar on social media among X, previously Twitter, users who speculated on the cause, while Yuga Labs continues to investigate it. So what I understand is that it was a sunburn to the corneas of the eyes due to overexposure to UV rays from high-powered UVC bulbs that were used, rather than black lights that are usually used. This is such a crazy thing, folks. You think that you're going to have a fun weekend in Hong Kong with your fellow friends and fellow NFT members, thousands of community members enjoying the parties, the dinners, the scavenger hunts around the city, and in the end, you end up at the hospital for eye damage. Oh, horrible. I hope that those affected heal quickly, and I guess that those who like to wear sunglasses during concerts or indoors now have finally found a reason to do so. You never know when the lights are gonna hurt you, so please take care of yourselves, folks. Now back to NFTs, because they are trending right now. Seeing an increase in volume since the beginning of October, NFTs have seen a consistent increase in daily trading volume. Yay, this is good, guys. A rare zombie CryptoPunk NFT sold for $1.14 million on Monday, and the buyer is none other than GordonGoner.eth, aka Wiley Arano, one of the founders of Yuga Labs, the company behind BAYC, and which last year acquired the rights to CryptoPunks and Meebits collections from Larva Labs. Arano first teased that he was going to grab some non-BAYC NFTs this week, but that he's still a puppy. And indeed, he remained within the Yuga Labs family. He ended up snagging CryptoPunk number 7458, and it is one of only 88 zombie punks in the collection of 10,000 unique punks. It has 3 attributes: a shadow beard, a knitted cap, and regular shades. So this particular punk is especially rare, with only 4,501 punks having these 3 attributes. The Yuga Labs exec then said that this purchase was long overdue, and he thanked the punk community for the warm welcome of this 8th man. The sale coincided with 17 other CryptoPunk sales on Monday, the same day, and it was the most traded in a single day since March, according to NFTstats.eth, the director of research at Proof. This surge comes after a prolonged lull in NFT sales. The crypto market crash earlier this year drained enthusiasm, unfortunately, with monthly NFT sale volume dropping considerably. But even Bitcoin ordinals are also pumping, since Binance recently listed ORD on its exchange, and users can now trade ordinals against Tether, Bitcoin, and the Turkish lira. And now, without further ado, let's welcome a special guest on CryptoTV who will talk about blockchain and social good. Our guest today on CryptoTV is Boris, who is the co-founder and CEO of a company called Eliatech. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for coming on the show today. Now we're going to get into Eliatech and all that you do. But first, I know that you attended the Cardano Summit last week, and I just spoke a little bit about my experience there. So I wanted to hear from you, your thoughts on it.
My thoughts, I think it was nice. The Cardano Summit, you see there's again a little bit a positive vibe in the industry. Much better than some other summits where really you felt that the vibe was down due to the markets and everything. And I think this Cardano Summit here in Dubai was, you felt again that there is, things are coming, things are happening.
Yeah, no, that's interesting that you say that, because there are so many events going on every week all over the world related to tech and blockchain, Web3. And yeah, a lot of them can be a little boring, maybe too technical. And numbers in attendees has definitely gone down because of the bear market, like you said. But you're right, I think this time, maybe because it's the people who really want to be there and who really care that are there, that you feel it, you feel that passion, especially among, I think, Cardano ecosystem. There were some really enthusiastic people.
Well, isn't Cardano also quite famous that they do really good summits and some really nice after parties?
Yeah, yeah, it was my first time, but I only went to the conference. I didn't go to the desert dinner or the gala. I don't know if you attended any of that.
No, I didn't, because I was busy with other dinner, but usually they really organize really cool things like around the summit.
Yeah, and I gotta go to more Cardano events.
Yeah.
My highlight was talking to Desdemona, the pop star robot. Did you get a chance to see her?
Yeah.
What did you think?
My first, let's say 10 seconds was a bit like, okay, it's kind of spooky, freaky almost. Very impressive, although I must say.
Yeah.
The movements were distracting me a bit, with the fingers. I didn't know if you saw that.
She was giving the middle finger.
Yeah, she was showing you the middle finger quite often. I was like, what did I do to you, Desdemona? I was just trying to listen to it. But I'm very impressed. I mean, we at Eliatech ourselves, we are integrating AI, or we will be integrating AI heavily. And I'm really impressed how far it's going and how very realistic it actually is.
Yeah, it was definitely creepy. I had a full conversation with her, a full interview. My first time talking like that to a robot. And it was creepy because it was she was articulate at the same time. But yeah, her hand movements, her mouth was just weird.
Did you ask her to sing?
I did. She sang for us. Yeah, she sang. She got overheated though. So we had to wait a little bit so that she could like rest, and then she sang for us. But it was very memorable.
I agree.
Yeah.
So,
But now I want to hear more about Eliatech. I know that it's a company that is leveraging blockchain tech for social good. And you mentioned now that there is an AI integration. So tell me a little bit more about the company.
All right. Well, let's go from where the money comes from to where the money goes. That's what Eliatech is trying to track and trace, and it's trying to show donors for charity donations and investors and funders for social impact funding and investments for good, how their money was used. So, we're really speaking here about a very detailed split down to every single cent that you can see, like, okay, for example, I funded this company. How did the company use my funds? But you have anti-scam in there. They cannot misuse the funds, so they can't run away with it or they can't go in the wrong direction. Yeah. So you are reassured as an investor or as a donor that you can actually know that my money is safe. It's not going to end up in the wrong hands.
Okay,
but
good.
Furthermore, about integration then of AI, what we want to bring in is AI for audits, but also predictive analysis.
So how does that work exactly?
So predictive analysis, as an example, when we focus on the charitable industry now, this is our go-to market. Initially, the social impact funding and investments come later. Certain catastrophes happen on a repeating schedule, right? Like flooding. It's pretty much certain that there will be a flooding in future again.
Like tsunamis, for example,
or like an earthquake, right?
Okay,
That's very common natural catastrophes that keep going on and on.
Hurricanes, yeah.
With the AI and the data that we can analyze now, and we have enough historical data, we can predict very well to the future, like what could happen at what point, where, and furthermore, we can predict, or with we, I mean us humans, not Eliatech now, because we're only going to be integrating this. And we can very well predict what's going to be the impact. So what we want to give you as a user is we prepare the funds already, so you can already donate to a fund that is going to be on hold, and once the catastrophe happens, it will be released.
Okay.
And then the release always goes in batches. That's how we have the anti-scam. So every batch is released and it's proofed. Once it's proofed and it's spent properly, the next batch is released, and this goes on and on and on and on.
Okay, I see. So let's play out a scenario here just so that I understand.
Yeah.
Let's say that there's an earthquake in California or Mexico area, and I want to donate using Eliatech.
Yeah.
So what would the process look like?
Yeah.
Who is actually receiving the money? What blockchain are you using? Tell me a little bit more of the details there.
Yeah. All right. So the thing would be that you would then register as a user with Eliatech. You get a user login. The charities that you can donate to are on our platform. And they're being shown to you, and it's a little bit has similarities to Tinder, right?
Oh,
so
Okay, I didn't expect that.
Because we're preparing this service especially for the next generations. The younger generations that are coming, they're digital natives.
Yes.
I mean, they're hyper connected. They track everything, and they actually want systems that everything is on one platform and it's super easy.
Right.
So
me too. I'm a millennial, but yes,
all of us,
convenience
right?
and ease, I think, is the priority.
Yeah. I would say millennials, and then the following generations want that.
Gen Z, Alpha.
Yeah.
All right.
And so on, right? So you have the platform, and as I said, like a Tinder game, you rotate through charities, you click on it, you get more information, a video, you get some sentences, and then you get the causes listed. You click on a cause and you can donate very specific. Now you mentioned an earthquake in Mexico, for example. You can donate, for example, rebuild a school, but you can also donate to rebuild a hospital. So you can decide if you say, it's a bit of a bad example, everyone likes a hospital and a school, but let's say you're a person, you say, I like a school, I don't like a hospital.
Okay.
I know, bad example,
okay.
But doesn't matter.
Hypothetically.
Exactly. You donate to this specific cause, and then you will be shown how your money was used, because our system will be performing whatever is needed in the back end, and then you get the split on your dashboard. So you as a user, your use is very simple. You can donate in crypto, you can donate in fiat, you can connect your bank account, you can transfer money through the system, or you can donate in crypto, wallet to wallet, however, whatever you like. So it's designed to appeal to both, let's say, older generations and the younger generations.
Okay. So I know that Eliatech is currently on the Hedera blockchain testnet, soon to go live. So does that mean that if I want to make a donation in crypto, that I can only donate in HBAR or other currencies?
Yeah, not necessarily, no. You can donate in other currencies as well. And we don't want to restrict it because, money for good should never be restricted in any way, because you might lose a lot of people that want to donate or they want to invest in something just because you limit them and you're like, yeah, but you have to do this now. And again, this is money that each individual gives for free, right? So if I restrict you and I tell you like, oh, you want to do something for good, you volunteer your time and your money,
right?
And then comes me and tells you like, no, you have to do it this way. Then you're going to be like, I'm sorry, but
I don't want
like I'm already doing something. Don't make it more difficult for me. So really, everything is designed as easy as possible for as many people as possible.
Okay, I understand. And why did you choose to build on the Hedera blockchain?
Their values. I'll be very honest. Their values was number one. Very strong values.
What are those values?
For example, like the carbon emission. Their footprint is negative almost. They really take care about that. That's very important for them. The way they do it. And the second reason was the very strong community. And the community is very, very dedicated. I think it's the most dedicated community that is out there.
In the whole industry?
So far, what I've seen, and so far the chains that I've been talking to and the performances that I've seen and the communities that I experienced,
Oh, wow.
We had a Twitter Spaces with them back in the days, and the feedback when I was talking about Eleatech was mind-blowing. They're really, really into it, and they're very social driven. They just have the right values in place with a very strong community. And as I mentioned before, the audits in our system will be done by AI, but also by volunteers. We call them volunteers. So that's volunteers that do volunteering work online, not on site, right? We have on site as well. So, classic volunteering work.
Remote volunteers, basically.
Remote volunteers, exactly. And we call them volunteers. So what you do is you will be performing proof of spending online, right? And this is where the Web3 communities are perfect, right? Because when they're strongly dedicated and when they like the cause and when they like what it is about, and that's why Hedera is perfect with such a strong, dedicated community, we hope that we will get a lot of volunteers from the community that are interested to be performing these services then for Eleatech and to do the proof of spendings, so that we can constantly reassure the people that the spendings were done correctly and the next batch can be released.
Okay, I see. All right, so from what I understand, the blockchain can help a lot with tracking, traceability, transparency of where the funds are going. But how else can you leverage on-chain technology for social causes?
As an example, everything is also stored on-chain. That's also very important. When you do any form of auditing, has to be stored somewhere. And using a chain, right? We can, because the charities or whoever is spending the money needs to upload proof, right?
Right.
And this is then all stored on chain. And the ease of the transaction due to the chain, right? And again, as I mentioned before, you can still do bank transfers and everything, but imagine how simple and fast it will be when it's purely on chain. From the donor, wallet to wallet on the chain, and then it goes straight into spending. And if it's then spent on the chain as well, super easy, super fast, super efficient, and cheap. Cheaper than the way it's set up these days when you goes from bank to bank, then it has to be, and sometimes it's held back because the amount is too big and etc. So it comes a lot of things.
Right, that's true. So, so data storage and then just ease of moving funds, I guess. Okay, cool. And then are there any competitors that you can tell me of that are already out there in the market that are trying to do a similar thing?
Yeah. We call them somewhat competitors. They're comparables. We have in our marketing research, we use them as comparables. For our financial valuation, we use them as comparables. We identified the most similar one to Eleatech is 30%. So they reach 30% of the service that we are going to offer. I think we have just taken it a little bit to a next level with really creating a whole ecosystem and a platform that includes all of the services in one. There is certain single services out there, but no one that we see as a direct competitor with everything in it.
Can you give me a timeline or a roadmap
Yeah.
of maybe what to expect from
Yeah,
Tech
sure.
in the near future?
As you mentioned before, our goal is to launch our MVP end of November, although our MVP is somewhat a hybrid between MVP and beta.
So MVP means what exactly?
Minimal valuable product. So usually I never speak it out.
It's okay.
It's used for demo purposes,
Okay.
right? So you will show the people what the concept is like, and to make it easier to understand, you know, because a lot of times when you explain people something, it's not understandable. They need something to feel and touch.
Makes sense.
Right?
Okay. Minimal viable product.
Viable
Okay.
product. Yeah. And this is to be launched towards end of November on the Hedera
this month.
testnet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming. The team is they're messaging me every day. I'm super keen to go back and see the results while I was gone in Dubai.
Back where?
The tech team sits in Bosnia. I am myself by origin from there. Very proud that my tech team is from there. That's a big thing. Our CMO, CIO sits in Amsterdam. Mm-hmm. And my co-founder sits in the US.
Okay.
We're a bit all over the world, very fully remote, but already quite global on the way.
So truly decentralized then.
Yeah, could say it this way. Yeah, truly decentralized. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, back to your roadmap. So the MVP is coming, and we will have a proof of concept, real life donation from Hedera community in our MVP. That's why I say it's not really usually an MVP does not have any actual transactions, for example, but we have one. So we will switch to mainnet and then go back to testnet and then keep it on the testnet. So we have test users playing around with it and then stress testing it and then giving us the feedback that we need to take it further down.
Okay.
And we have a agreement with the University of Applied Sciences in Utrecht in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. Their graduate students will actually be performing their graduation on our MVP and deep diving on the data and giving us suggestions. Performing
their graduation? What do you mean?
Well, performing is the wrong word. They will graduate on our MVP, so their final exam, you know, their I don't even know how you call that, to be honest. Well, it's the case study that they have to conclude to get their graduation.
Okay.
Will be Alea Tech and our MVP. 5 students will be working on it, and they will be going into the data, into how can we bring this to the groups that we want. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we said, you know, we want this to be then properly researched. So in order that we can then from the MVP go to the beta, like develop it with the feedback, improve it, and then.
I love that you're involving students as well.
Yep. Okay. Well, always creative ideas, right? And it's the next generation that is coming. Talking about generations again.
So who would you said your target would be the coming generation? So how would you describe maybe Gen Z and then Gen Alpha?
Well, our target is anyone anyway. We don't want to exclude anyone, but I think we are preparing Alea Tech strongly, very focused for the next generation, so Z, Alpha. How would I describe them? I think what I really like about them, they have a mindset. When they don't like something, they will say no, and that's it.
True.
And this is what I really respect them a lot in. I have 2 younger sisters.
I have a younger sister too. She's Gen Z.
Yeah. So my youngest one, she's born 1999.
Okay.
I think that drops just out of millennials.
Right.
I don't know all the details, and I see it. We were raised by the same parents, right? But you know, me and her have 9 years age difference, and sometimes I'm really same. So you know what I'm talking about, right? And but I really like it. They have this. I mean, there's pros and cons, right? And certain things with these generations, I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't do it this way because, you know, like it's a little bit too detached from humans due to the digitalization. I'm missing a little bit, you know, the being nice to each other and supportive and having emotional or like real life human connections. Okay. But what they have, and this I really respect them a lot for, is they say no and it's a no. I don't like it. I don't like the way you do it. Show me, be transparent. I want to buy shoes, but I want to see where these shoes were produced, right? True. If they don't like it, they will say no. And then you have no chance. As a company, you cannot just do whatever you want. And this is, I think, very cool because that's very important for our...
They hold you more accountable then. They want to see proof. Exactly. They want you to show them what's what. And if they don't like it, they'll let you know.
They'll let you know, and they will be really very straight about it. And I think that's very important for our environment and for the globe that we're all living on. Because if we continue the way we were going so far, you know, we will have heavy issues on this planet about all the issues there. Okay. And they're very well informed. This is very, very well informed. I mean, due to the obviously, due to the access to the access to the internet and social media, very well informed. But that's why I think Eliatech is even more important, because so much of the information you don't know, is it true, is it not true? So there needs to be a layer of transparency, a layer of trust over everything, that like, okay, this is labeled, this was proved by multiple parties, I can go with it.
And that's where the blockchain comes in. So what would you say is the most, personally here, I'm asking, what would you say is the most important, prominent, prevalent issue that you think blockchain can solve, whether it's maybe a charitable cause, a humanitarian aid cause? Like, what do you think should be the highest priority?
I personally think exactly the direction that we're going with Eliatech, it's social issues.
Okay.
I think blockchain really
can you give me just a couple examples?
Different things. Like by nature, blockchain is transparent, right? What we had the recent years was trading with crypto. But for me, there's a difference between blockchain, which is a technology, very beautiful, and then crypto, which is used for trading. So these are two different things. And we're talking about specifically blockchain now. I think it offers perfect solutions for all kind of social issues. When we're talking about decentralization, I was always thinking about democracy, right? And now we have systems out there, and countries and governments, they say we are democratic. We offer you the ability to vote and this and that. But how democratic is it really when you look at certain countries, right? I mean, you and me come from countries that are, let's say, not the most perfect examples, right?
So but Bosnia in your case, Venezuela,
right? Yes. Like we have experienced how it actually is when you have the right to vote, but your vote is just worth nothing because you don't achieve what you want with your vote, right? Then there's other countries that they do a better job in it, but even in these countries, often there is issues or problems or something else. And I think this is where blockchain with decentralization, it's just amazing, because you can really be everyone can be a part of it. And it doesn't matter how small you are, you're part of the decision making. And it gives you the possibility to make a decision, to give a vote, to change something.
Okay, amazing. Well, we are running out of time. So before we leave, could you just tell our audience what's the best way to get in touch with you, to reach out, to learn more about Eliatech?
Yeah, sure. Eliatech, ELEATEK.com. You'll have all the information there.
Okay. And what about connecting with you? Twitter, LinkedIn?
Yeah, Twitter. I'm on Twitter is, my family name is very complicated. Okay. It's Smilic Boris. There's SMILJIC Boris, BORIS.
Okay, we'll put that under.
Yeah, put it maybe. On Telegram, it's because of the complicated family name, it's just simply Boris.
Okay.
Capital S, capital B.
Thank you, Boris, for your time today. That was his take on blockchain leverage for social good. Everyone, thank you for tuning in, and please stay tuned for the rest of the Crypto TV.
In the crypto market, BTC's price is approaching $37,000. ETH is hovering around the $1,900 price point. ORDI holders are winning today. It's up by 45% today, trading at $18. And Cardano's ADA is also up nearly 21% this week.
And that is all for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Crypto TV. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and check out my coverage of Cardano Summit and other coverage of Web3 TV. See you guys next week.